Imagine this, you're home alone, you hear a strange noise and you brush it off. It's probably just the house settling or the wind, but what if it's not? What if someone else is in your home, living alongside you, completely undetected? It sounds like the plot of a horror movie, but for some people, this nightmare became a terrifying reality. Today, we're diving into 3 bone-chilling true stories of people who discovered strangers secretly living in their homes. These aren't ghost stories. These are real accounts that will make you double-check your locks tonight. Our first story takes us to Fukuoka, Japan. A man living by himself started noticing things were off. Food would mysteriously disappear from his fridge. Not a lot, just enough to make him question his own memory. He thought maybe he was just getting forgetful. But the feeling that something was wrong wouldn't go away. He decided to set up a security camera in his kitchen, hoping to catch a pest or maybe just prove to himself that he was imagining things. He left for the day, and when he came back, he checked the footage. What he saw sent a chill down his spine. The camera had sent a notification to his phone, showing movement in his kitchen, but it wasn't a mouse or a raccoon. It was a woman, a total stranger, casually walking around his kitchen, helping herself to his food. The police were called immediately. When they arrived and searched the apartment, they made a shocking discovery. The woman, identified as Tatsuko Horikawa, wasn't just breaking in to steal food. She had been living there for a whole year. Her hiding spot? The top shelf of his closet, an area he rarely used. She had even brought a mattress up there and made it her own little living space. She told police she had nowhere else to go. Can you imagine the feeling of knowing someone was sleeping just a few feet above your head for a year, watching you, listening to your every move? It's a violation of personal space on a level that's hard to even comprehend. Let's move on to our second story, which is just as unsettling. This one comes from South Carolina and involves a woman named Tracy, a mother of 5. One night, she was woken up by a loud thud coming from her attic. Her 2 oldest sons were away at college, and her younger children were asleep. She was terrified. She called her nephew to come and check it out with her. When they cautiously opened the attic door, they found a man lying on the floor, and this wasn't just any man. It was her ex-boyfriend, who she had broken up with 12 years prior. He had been released from prison just a few weeks before. The police discovered he had been living in her attic for 2 weeks. Think about that. He was sleeping on insulation, surrounded by old Christmas decorations and jackets right above her and her children. The most disturbing part? The nails on the ceiling vents in her bedroom had been removed. He had positioned the vents so he could watch her while she slept. The police theorized he was planning something terrible. He had been sneaking down at night to get food and drinks. The reason he was discovered was because he fell asleep and a heater vent he was lying on gave way, causing the loud noise that woke Tracy up. If not for that accident, who knows how long he would have stayed there, or what he might have done. It's a horrifying reminder that sometimes the biggest dangers can come from people you once knew. Our final story for today is perhaps the most famous case of frogging, a term for secretly living in someone's home. It involves a man named Theodore Coneys, but he's better known by his eerie nickname, the Denver Spider-Man. The story begins in 1941 when Philip Peters, an elderly man living alone in Denver, was found dead in his home. At first, police thought he died of natural causes, but closer look revealed he had been attacked. The house was locked from the inside, and there were no signs of forced entry. Food was missing, and the neighbors reported hearing strange noises coming from the house for months, but they had always dismissed them. The case went cold. The house sat empty, and Peters's widow, who had been in the hospital when he died, was too afraid to return. Eventually, she rented it out. New tenants moved in and out, all of them complaining about strange sounds and the feeling of being watched. Finally, a new homeowner, determined to get to the bottom of it, started investigating. One day, he heard a noise and saw a pair of legs dangling from a small opening in the ceiling. He called the police, who arrived and found a man. A gaunt, frail-looking man who looked like he hadn't seen daylight in years. This was Theodore Coneys. He confessed everything. He had been down on his luck and broke into the Peters home looking for food. When Philip Peters found him, a struggle ensued and Coneys killed him. Instead of fleeing, Coney's terrified of being caught, hid in a tiny, narrow closet accessible only through a small panel in the ceiling. He stayed there for 9 months. He lived in that cramped space, surviving on scraps he would steal at night, while the body of the man he killed was downstairs. He watched the police investigation, listened to the new tenants, a ghost in his own prison. He became a local legend, the Spider-Man of Denver, a terrifying real-life boogeyman who lived in the walls. These stories are more than just creepy tales. They're real-life events that show how fragile our sense of security can be. The idea that our home, our sanctuary, could be invaded in such a silent and prolonged way is deeply unsettling. It makes you think about all those little unexplained noises you hear at night, or that feeling that you're not quite alone. While these cases are extremely rare, they serve as a chilling reminder to always be aware of your surroundings and to never ignore your gut instinct when something feels wrong. If you hear a bump in the night, maybe it's worth checking out. You never know who or what you might find. Thanks for watching. If you found these stories as fascinating and creepy as I did, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more content that explores the darker side of human nature. Stay safe and always check your closets.